Okay, so this video is going to be about the Blue Lions and New Game Plus, so spoilers for those two things, I guess. Of course, honestly, the first half of this video is going to be pretty much identical to the first Black Eagles video I made. I'll mention any big changes, but that's about it. One of the big changes is this time I'm playing as a girl. And the first thing that I notice is how huge female Byleth's eyes are! Seriously, after spending 80 hours with Squinty McSlit Eyes over there, the size of Byleth's massive peepers made me say, Jeepers. Jeepers? Then we had that opening battle where you take control of the 3 future rulers of Fodland and then you just homicide all the bandits. Afterwards, you take an axe to the back and then you unlock a feature that makes it so you play the game with very little regard for the defining aspect of Fire Emblem, the permadeath. After that, the same moral quandary as last time, pledging fealty to one of the 3 noble houses. But this time, I'm not a guy, so I need to decide which one of the dudes is hotter.
Personally, I prefer blondes.
So I swear allegiance to the kingdom and we go and get some cutscenes. What the heck is that? Why is my character so overly sexualized? The tights and the low-cut blouse I might be willing to overlook, but what purpose, any purpose, does the exposed belly serve? Byleth is a trained mercenary, and she just walks around with a free chance to get disemboweled? Are you kidding me? Seriously, who made this game? Koei Tecmo?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the blatant disrespect for women makes a lot of sense now, but I did buy the DLC, and I don't want a constant draft on my midriff, so I'm gonna switch over to the officer's uniform, and while I'm here, I can change the appearance of some of my students as well. Let's put Mercedes and Sylvain in the loungewear. Oh, and let's let Dimitri wear his time skip costume for the entire game. Oh, and since I'm here, I want to talk about New Game Plus. Lots of things carry over, like your battalions, your progress on the statues, and they give you 10,000 renown to buy and unlock stuff that you previously had, like experience with weapon types, support levels. Oh, they also have crests and these weapons, just a ton of stuff to make your subsequent playthroughs a lot more fun. You can buy whatever you want personally, but one thing that you need to buy is your professor level. Just max that thing out. I mean, it kind of breaks the game a little bit, but I want as many action points as I can get my grubby hands on. Another thing I did a little differently on this playthrough is that I used the auto-instruct for the entire game. And I let my students decide what to spec into. Do not do this! It sucks on so many levels. So what auto-instruct does is it just chooses one stat and then just plobs all the training into that. I assume it's just naturally 4. I don't think that the instructions have a chance for you to praise your students, and I don't think you get any support from the auto-instruction. But the biggest hurdle is that if you want your students to spec into a certain class, auto-instruct will not help you with that. Look, it's teaching Annette to use an axe. What? When will Annette ever use an axe? But we have the opening mission, just a little mock battle between the 3 houses. You use clever tactics to win, and that is the last bit of challenge you should ever have on New Game Plus. Because, as I mentioned, you have to be insane not to buy the max professor level. Meaning that when you use one of your free times as a fighting, you'll do 3 battles, which will just shoot your levels through the roof! For example, your 3rd mission is teaming up with Catherine to stop Ash's adoptive father, But look at these guys, their accuracy is incredibly low, and even if they do manage to hit, it's less than 5, usually 0. For this reason, I had the killing blow to Leonardo come from Ash. Everybody form up, do not let Catherine in. Alright, Ash, kill him. After the battle, there's one of them classic morally great cutscenes that Fire Emblem is so well known for.
Are you insane? Those weren't knights or soldiers, but fathers and sons. We shouldn't have killed them. We should have found another way.
You good, dude?
At this point, I get some supports, and I love the supports in this game. You get to know all of these characters. You get to hate these characters like Felix. Oh man, he's mean to Dedu for no reason. He's mean to Mercedes, which is just unforgivable. And frankly, Annette calls it as she sees it.
You're evil, Felix!
Well, the next mission was that one with the Death Knight, you know, the one in the synagogue or whatever. And to prove how OP having 3 battles per month is, check this out. I actually killed the ridiculously overpowered Death Knight. The only downside is 3 battles is nearly an hour and a half. I don't know if I love or hate the monastery in Fire Emblem Three Houses, because for better or worse, it adds a lot of time to the game. I mean, don't get me wrong, it helps establish relationships better than any Fire Emblem game in the past has. However, it adds a lot of time. But without it, the game would just be battles, and with all the systems they have in place, I don't know if I want that. It really is just a conundrum, because side battles that are paralogues, oh, I love those, some of the best. The main missions are so good, but I dreaded when I had to do just the side missions for like money or ore. But I feel obligated to do that because you need to level up to be able to do the missions at the end of the month. Seriously, from just the unimportant side battles while I was playing this game, I probably watched over 50 episodes of TV just on Netflix. You just chewed through entire series. Okay, now we have a main mission. It's the one where you have Sylvain's brother who like stole the spear, and I noticed a lot of these battles are a lot more personal to the Blue Lions, and I helped make it personal by having Sylvain land the killing blow. Well, on his human form at least. I was gonna have him use on the beast form as well, but Ash got a crit. However, at this point I started getting paralogues for my battles, which was pretty good. Whether it be some battle with a unique mechanic or a story connected to it, I love these. I'll mention some others later on, but right now I have that mission where Flame Dundid got kidnapped. Once again, I let her spend 30 days abducted, and then I decided to help. And again, the damage from these guys is pitiful. I mean, I didn't have Dimitri because he took Manuel to the infirmary, but I still had the Death Knight killed rather than killing off everyone except him and then having the Flame Emperor save his butt. Then we had the fishing contest or whatever, and then, as I promised in my Black Eagles video, I decided to throw the Battle of the Eagle and the Lion. They claim that it's point-based, but since Byleth and Dimitri can't fall, they're gonna be the only ones standing at the end. They were the only two who were repping the Lions. So Dimitri and I grabbed a bag of popcorn, sat back, and let the Moses and the Eagles tear themselves apart. The Mooses started out strong. They pushed to the center, killing off Bernadetta and her men. But they didn't really push their advantage. At this point, the Red Eagles came in and started plucking them all off, one by one, until they got to Claude. But in all fairness, Claude and his 3 people put up an admirable last stand, but in the end, they only managed to kill 8 of the Red Eagles, while the Eagles took out all 15 of the Yellow Mooses. And at this point, the Blue Lions stepped up. Now, each team had 15, so there were only 7 left for us. And since we had the least amount of points, naturally, the winner was
The Blue Lions.
That doesn't look right.
However, in all fairness, maybe I didn't. In my last playthrough, I won a Holy Lance, but this time they just said, oh, you're really brave, you've improved. Now go to Remire Village, you dingus. So we go to Remire, it's going crazy, there's murder and all sorts of stuff, but then the dude notices Solon and his men watching all the chaos unfold.
Kill them all. Don't let a single one of them escape. Sever their limbs and crush their wicked skulls.
You good, dude?
The fighting was pretty easy, but fortunately we had the added challenge of saving people who hadn't been to like 20 battles to level way to flip up, and I had a tough time with the Death Knight. So many crits. Seriously, a game with permadeath can't have crits. I will give up all of my crits if it means not losing units to a random number that I can't avoid or plan around. Alright, so we clean up Remire Village, and then we have Dance Month! And I messed up big time with this. My opportunity to get a dancer was completely squandered because there's like 2 dances. One right after the 2nd week, and one on the 4th week. I was so preoccupied with unlocking the Goddess Tower cutscenes that I completely missed out on a dancer unit. So, here, I accidentally got an audio file that nobody should hear, so I'll go ahead and let you listen to it real quick.
It has come to my attention that you did not participate in the White Heron Cup. Were none of your students skilled in dance?
As for the Goddess Tower cutscene, you get it when you choose to talk to Gatekeeper.
On the last night of the ethereal moon, on the same night as the ball, if a man and a woman go to the Goddess Tower and make a wish, it's sure to come true. I have a wish, but I can't find anybody to make it with me.
Oh, me! Byleth is a girl this time! I'll make any wish that you want, right? Choose me! Pick!
Dang it, only my students. Well, I'm only playing the Blue Lions because Dimitri is an absolute hunk, so yeah, the night of the ball. We get one standard cutscene with Dimitri, and then we get one special one. The wish that we decided to make is that no one is taken from us unjustly.
To do. He died in my place.
You really do look just like His Majesty.
Alright, now for the monthly mission. It is so ridiculously easy. Last time, this was the easiest battle, but now that I actually know how to fight big guys and we are stupidly overleveled, it's over in like a flash. But we do get our first death from that little montage I just made. My papa! Stab! Divine Pulse! Stabbed again. And then Felix accidentally becomes one of the best units in the game in a very short period of time. So we had this paralogue where you go help Felix's dad protect some people, and let me stress how important it is that you save everyone on this mission. If you do this, you will get something called the Aegis Shield. Protection up by 6, resilience up by 3, and a high chance of always activating Aegis and Pavis. You need to get this for Felix. Also on that mission, I unlocked Felix and Dimitri's B support conversation, which just automatically gives you one of the best weapons in the game. Here you go. Free Zoltan's sword. Alright, the next story mission is to revenge the chick who gave my dad a gut hole. I chase her down, and then someone pops up, and then abracadooby! I cease to exist. I wake up in like the false gate of truth, you know, when Gluttony ate them all in like Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, and I think you all know what happened to me next.
Join Smash Brothers already!
Alright, I unlocked Elite Smash. Let's kill some balding dude. Alright, now I do like a month of activities like I always do, and then Archbishop Rhea wants me to sit in a chair. And I do this, but nothing really happens. Well, except that the Flame Emperor comes in and threatens to kill everyone. And finishing the secondary activity this time was actually kind of difficult, because last time I just had Linhardt yeet me up to the Flame Emperor, and I just got to a chopping before the Creststone Thieves could even think of stealing the rocks. This time, however, I was in dire straits. I had Ingrid ride up on a suicide mission where she would have to dodge incredibly powerful attacks from the Flame Emperor and... I don't know his name. Is it Blood Sadist? And frankly, this worked, because Ingrid was able to avoid a 70% Gamin, which bought enough time for the real units to show up.
Rest. You've earned it.
But after defeating the Flame Emperor, we learned that it was Edelgard.
Are you good, dude?
No! He is not good! I repeat, he is not good! He then goes and kills like 10 men! Half of them he was unarmed for! As for this last guy, I'm kind of wondering how he did that, but just grabbing the face, like, how much force would it take to kill someone just by gripping their face? That has got to be something else. After that, 2 men sacrificed their lives to buy Edelgard 2 seconds to escape. But everyone is in a foul mood. Dimitri goes off the flippin' deep end, Rhea is just a grumpy Gus, and everyone is a little freaked out because at the end of the month, we're going to war with the entire Empire's army. And that battle was tough. Thank goodness a challenge. Yeah, I would not suggest over-leveling yourself. It takes away from the fun a bit. So for this battle, I split into 2 groups, and I just tore up the left and the right. And then Cassandra went down the center, and true to form, she one-shotted the boss. But I guess allies can't win the game for you. Oddly enough, when Edelgard counterattacked, she didn't do any damage, even though her Gambit very clearly hit. But then I had Seth just fly up and finish her off. After that, there's this big old cutscene where Rhea goes to dragon mode and honestly just starts destroying the village buildings. And then, despite her ability to fly, she gets jumped by the beasts. I go over to help her, but that's exactly what the evil guy wanted. He shoots a Mewtwo ball at me and I go clean off the cliff! And then I curl up for a nice long winter's nap. 5 winters to be specific. After that, Sothis is like, "Hey, get up! I'm bored!" And then I walk over to the monastery, and then, like a macabre Hansel and Gretel, I follow a trail of corpses, and I find Dimitri, who, like most people you find at the end of a trail of bodies, is covered in blood. Then he spouts off some nihilistic nonsense, and he leads us to our next battle, which is pretty tough. All you can really do in this battle is take cover in the trees and then hope that your students come to rescue you. And they did, except for Dedue. But you still have a powerful heavy armor Axeman, Gilbert. Yeah, I'm gonna max out Annette's support with her papa. So, after we kill Polero, we learn about the time skip. We learn that Rhea was captured 5 years ago and that Dimitri was falsely accused of a crime. And then Dedue sacrificed himself so Dimitri could escape. And then Dimitri spent like 5 years just killing Imperial generals like a gosh dang werewolf. Probably did some Tiankum crap, you know? He snuck into the tents at night, threw a spear through their chest. And now he's here. But right now, Dimitri would just prefer to keep killing solo. We managed to rein him enough to do missions, but that's about it. We can't really talk to him in the monastery. He threatens you if you talk to him, and he is just single-mindedly on attacking the Imperial capital before raising an army or even reclaiming his birthright. You know, one of the pains of recording everything means I have to get usable footage. I just can't enjoy the game in the way that I want to. Okay, so the first battle is defending Garreg Mach, and right beforehand we get a little cutscene with Randolph and his sister, which will actually be important later, but what's important right now is this. Once again, it's suggested that we light the entire monastery on fire. No! Look, I like the idea of the enemy being too strong and too numerous to fight fair, and then setting off a trap, and it's the only way to turn the battle in my favor. However, that's not how this battle goes! I'm actually pushing forward. I'm killing off the enemies, using cunning and Felix's Aegis shield. I'm winning this! And I know what this guy planned to do. And let me tell you, it's not gonna severely hinder the enemy, it's going to ignite my whole team! Yeah, go ahead, kill him off. That's actually very good for me. Oh, don't treat this like a victory. I just wasn't too keen on turning my entire team into a flambe. You, on the other hand, you can go right ahead and die. Then there's this cutscene where Dimitri, more or less, plays with his food before he eats it. He taunts and torments Randolph.
Do you like destroying towns? Do you like destroying families? Do you? Does the Fire Nation let people go? Does the Fire Nation have mercy?
Finally, Byleth just gets sick of watching it and comes over and finishes the poor fool, and Dimitri didn't care for that too much. However, all in all, one less Imperial scum in the world is a plus in his book. Alright, now on to the next month. Felix's father, Rodrigue, stayed faithful to the kingdom. We asked him if he'll lend us some troops, and he agrees. He'll hand them over at Edelgard, the Valley of Torment. One thing that I liked before the battle is how poorly the kingdom students are handling the heat. It doesn't really affect the battle, but it is a nice touch that people from the north would have a low heat tolerance. But now we need to fight because a spy sold us out. But this was a very quick battle. Once you move far enough north, the dude with the Hitler sash just races over that way. The thing is, he is simply outclassed by Dimitri. And after he dies, Lord Rodrigue joins our team. I really wish he was a playable character, but hey, now we have an army. And the first thing that Dimitri wants to do is go straight on over to the Imperial capital and kill Edelgard. And step one on that journey is to take the Great Bridge of Myrddin. Actually, before we do that, I want to highlight one monastery line. So Ash says that if he hadn't been with our army, he thinks he might have fought for the other side. And given my Silver Snow playthrough,
Might have ended up as your enemy at ALL.
I'm starting to think you're onto something.
alright, it's bridge time, and we got a lot of real characters here. We got Ferdinand von Eyre.
Retreat, Ladislava. Tell Her Majesty about this.
And we got Lorenz.
Lay me to rest in a manner that is befitting of the nobility.
We also got my favorite guy, Acheron.
As they say, if you can't beat them, join them. I'm not in for a beating, am I?
And I think the Dew showed up. The Dew showed up? Yes! Yes, our boy is back! Oh, it was so great to have the prodigal son return. After this level, we got to go through all his supports. And you know what? He is the best. Dimitri has been cold, cruel, and straight up threatening me. But the Dew, he is the best. You know what? I may have to change who I'm marrying. But back on the bridge, we take down everyone, including old lady. Oh, look at her all curled up with her axe like a stuffed animal. Adorable. Then some maiden comes up. Who the fudge is this? I don't know. She wants to join up with this army so she can kill the person who murdered her brother.
Oh, no.
I really wish this could have been more of a surprise. Like if you'd played the Crimson Flower, you could know who this is. I don't like how there was that cutscene that explicitly showed her. I really wish I could be as surprised as the characters are after the next mission. As for the next mission, oh man. Okay, Battle of the Eagle and the Lion 2, Electric Boogaloo. Hope you don't mind if I bring a few extra units with me this time. Oh, and this mission was hard after playing the Black Eagle storyline, because Birdie is a sweet baby angel. Do you have any idea what this game made me do to her?
I wish I could have at least died at home. Not in this big, stupid field.
I don't like what I just did.
Actually, the whole battle was a little off. Like, the game makes it seem like you don't really want to fight the yellow deer, and I actually managed to kill every single black eagle before engaging any of the deers. But we still had to fight them. In fact, the very first fight with a deer was Claude waltzing on up to Byleth and saying,
Anyway, isn't the Empire your enemy? Us fighting seems like a waste.
you know what? I couldn't agree more! So why just shoot me? You know what? Just for that, I'm murdering Lysithea.
I thought I'd be able to live just a little bit longer than this.
Actually, they brought a lot of real characters. Leone, Raphael, Ignatz. Fortunately, they were all in the back row. They didn't have to die. But Lysithea wasn't in the back row. The Empire was gone! Lysithea didn't have to die! After that, Fletch comes up and attempts to turn Dimitri into a piece of sashimi. But Rodrigue steps into her blade, and then I make some Fletch sushi. And then Rodrigue dies, telling Dimitri to stop being such a negative Nazi. And that, along with a cutscene with the professor afterwards, you actually manage to snap him out of his 5-year murderous funk. So now, instead of being on a one-tracked mind of kill Edelgard, Dimitri thinks things through and realizes, oh crap, I'm the king of the blue people and the capital is under enemy control. Yeah, let's go back and get my birthright first. And this level was a tad tricky. I tried to brute force it and just head up the middle. However, there are 3 titans and one of their abilities is free crits. I had to redo this level because that is one thing I just can't quite handle. But taking everyone up the left side was doable. I might not be able to brute force 3 titans, but one is definitely within my power, as is Cornelia. And with the city liberated, Dimitri ascends to the throne. After that, a really tough paralogue unlocked. I haven't really mentioned the paralogues, even though they rule and make the battles in between the real ones bearable, but this one was a whole nother beast. It took over 90 minutes to win this one. I think realistically it could have been done in 30 or less, but you see, Heemin and Manuela are optional bosses of this level, and I really wanted to hear their reactions being murdered by the professor. Also, what's with Manuela speccing into the assassin class?
So, the Silver Maiden will be my last stage? You know, that's not too bad.
Alright, now for the real next mission. After getting thoroughly trounced at Gronder Field and seeing me spill Lysithea's blood, Claude asks if I will help him defend his city. And we do this. This is a fun mission because Hild and Judith show up, but they're actually allowed to die. It was a lot of fun trying to keep them alive. Mercedes, I get that Felix is getting close to dying and he's been with us for a while, but heal Judith. She's about to charge into the enemy's lines full force. Besides, Felix has that Aegis shield. He ain't dying anytime soon. And then the guy who isn't Lord Rodrigue shows up, and then we skewer him. And I didn't know this, but there are rewards for keeping Claude's 2 ladies alive. Got myself a giant shell.
Just doing my civic duty, sir.
Now we're getting to the end. I just need to take the main fort and then I can attack the main city. The only problem is that my recording program crashed during this first fight, so I'll tell you these little drawings. So we had Caspar and Linhardt. Oh, the top of the morning to you laddies! And then I murdered him. Why did I give Caspar an Irish accent? Oh, I want to take a nap. You can nap. In hell. And the Death Knight was there.
I am my own monster.
Alright, end bar time. But first I gotta choose my husbandito. Once again, they forgot to put the freaking gatekeeper in. So it's really just between the hot guy and the emotionally supportive guy. Alright, I just like what happens next because to unlock every single male Blue Lions S rank, I'm gonna have to go through 3 hours of battles. First is the Imperial Capital City, where you gotta murder Dorothea.
Edelgard, forgive me. I can't.
And you gotta murder Petra. I think, yes, we've killed every single Black Eagle.
Edelgard, I will not be keeping my promise. Give me forgiveness, please.
Well, I mean, there's still Hubert over there, but, you know, you gotta kill him too. And fortunately, it is easier than the Silver Snow route, because there he had an attack with like 10 range that could just insta-kill your people. He doesn't have that attack here. He just has 3 mages that have that attack. Fortunately, they aren't actually insta-kills. They just do 90% of your HP. So as long as you space your people out so that one of them can't get hit twice, you should be able to get all your flying units to just go in and killify Hubert. Check out Flame! She started out like super weak, but now she's one-shotting Hubert? Now all that stands between me and my goals is the Queen of the Adrestian Empire.
They are here, but my progress cannot be stopped, no matter how many people try.
What the fuck?
So, yeah, that happened. Edelgard turned herself into a gosh dang Lovecraftian abomination. She takes pot shots at your group throughout the whole thing, but fortunately, it's really weak stuff. I guess Annette is a little vulnerable because it's like a physical attack, but she mainly has a grudge with Dimitri, and he dodged every single one of them. After 90 minutes of navigating through the whole level, which gets really hard because they send enemy by literal dozens at you, we make our way to Edelgard. And if I'm being 100% honest, she's the easiest final boss that I've faced yet. Everyone just dogpiles her and she dies in like 2 turns. Then her demon form melts away, and Dimitri offers her the hand of friendship. And then like a complete tool, she attempts to knife him, so Dimitri gives her a new gut hole, and we leave. Then there's like this paralogue about how Dimitri became king, and then apparently I became the new archbishop, and at last I get my reward. Yep, I went for the guy who was actually a man throughout the whole experience. Oh, that's sweet. Boom, another story down. I'm gonna be honest, the monastery time is starting to wear me down, but it was a really good story, except for that Cthulhu demon at the end. But hey, go ahead and subscribe. I still have to make a yellow deer video and an ashen wolves video. And honestly, I'm really looking forward to that because I've heard that the yellow deer is the funnest one. See you then.